Welcome to the Johnny Fongo Show. I am Johnny Fongo. It is March 18th, 2021. A little bit about the show. This show is about sharing my research in the cannabis sector, particularly publicly traded companies. We will look at everything cannabis, THC, CBD, hemp, and everything in between. Some stories featured will look at companies that are not publicly traded. First off, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy. Big fan of the plant, big fan of investing, big fan of trading, and a big fan of research. I hope you enjoy the information I share. Any stock or company I talk about is not a recommendation to buy it. It is more a recommendation to learn more about the company if it fits into your strategy. With that being said, let's get to it. All right, we've got a few headlines to look at this morning. First off, at 6 a.m. from Globe Newswire, to lead commercialization efforts, renowned agricultural commodities trader Rob Jones is named president of Christina Lake Cannabis. Next, Obits signs first contract to develop blockchain for green technology and engineering. That came out at 6 a.m. Globe Newswire. Iconic Brands Incorporated signs letter of intent for the purchase of assets of Precision Alchemy, LLC, an Oregon-based cannabis oil manufacturer. HEXO announces European approval for 25-minute COVID-19 PCR test. From yesterday, we have Green Thumb CEO says real fun is just beginning as 2020 revenue spikes 157%. That came through last night at 6:24 p.m. on Benzinga. Delta 9 to open 11th cannabis retail store. Globe Newswire, that came through at 6 p.m. Sundial reports full year and fourth quarter 2020 financial and operational results, 5:23 p.m. Looks like they came in pretty good with a beat on the earnings and the revenue. They had a little spike in after hours last night. So we'll see what they can do today. Century Cobalt Corporation announces cannabis license acquisition and strategic review. 4:34 p.m. Globe Newswire. All right, let's get into a few particulars here. Iconic Brands Corporation signs letter of intent for the purchase of assets of Precision Alchemy, LLC, an Oregon-based cannabis oil manufacturer. Iconic Brands, you can find them on the Canadian Stock Exchange as IONC. On the OTC pink sheets, it is IONKD. And another one says IONKF. It's either IONKD or IONKF. Either way, it's trading at a little over 16 cents a share. We're going to ask Mia to explain the story a little further for us.
A regional manufacturer of innovative cannabis consumables and concentrate extract products is pleased to announce it has executed a non-binding letter of intent, LOI, to acquire assets of Precision Alchemy, LLC. Deedbeader Precision Alchemy, an Oregon-based recreational cannabis oil manufacturer with endorsements to manufacture and distribute medical-grade cannabis products, edibles, topicals, concentrates, extracts, and industrial hemp. The company entered into an LOI to acquire Precision Alchemy on March 2, 2021. The two companies have since moved to a definitive agreement and have targeted a closing date of on or before April 1, 2021. The terms set forth in the LOI call for a total purchase price of $3,600,000 in cash and stock. The company will pay $800,000 to Precision Alchemy at closing, an additional $200,000 over 6 months, and $2,600,000 to be paid in the form of common shares of the company. Ionic Brands chairman and CEO John P. Gorst commented, "The acquisition of Precision Alchemy and the onboarding of key personnel will complement the future of Ionic 2.0. Furthermore, direct ownership of a license with an impressive team in place, while adding vital employees to our existing Oregon sales team, already in the market, will greatly enhance our competitive position in the Oregon cannabis market." Ionic Brands will immediately launch Suits, a well-recognized and popular premium consumable in Washington, as part of the expansion of the existing portfolio of products currently offered in Oregon. Nick Sentons, CEO of Precision Alchemy, was quoted, "We are very excited for the opportunity to join forces with Ionic Brands Corporation. We have complementary areas of expertise, and are bound to form a team whose whole is greater than the sum of its parts." The company is also announcing that it has mutually terminated its LOI with Peace, Love and Elixirs LLC, DBA HEXO Oregon operator. "We wish HEXO the best of success with their future endeavors." About Precision Alchemy, LLC. Founded in 2015, Precision Alchemy has successfully met the need for safe, clean cannabis oil in the Oregon marijuana market. Since then, Precision Alchemy has honed their craft and become one of Oregon's leading providers of custom-tailored cannabis oil. With a mission to provide processors with cannabis oil that is tailored specifically for their products, Precision Alchemy has established a distinct advantage over its competitors. Financial performance claimed by Precision Alchemy has not been audited or reviewed. About Ionic Brands Corporation. The company is dedicated to building a regionally based multi-state consumer-focused cannabis concentrate brand portfolio with strong roots in the premium and luxury segments of vape, concentrates, and consumables. The cornerstone brand of the portfolio, Ionic, is a top concentrates brand in Washington state along with its economy brand Dabulous, and has aggressively expanded throughout the Pacific Northwest of the United States. The brand is currently operating in Washington and Oregon. Ionic Brand's strategy is to be the leader of the highest value segments of the cannabis market.
Thank you, Mia. Ionic Brands. IONKF, currently trading at about 16.5 cents. Sounds like they have got some things going on out there in the Northwest. Next up, let's look at the story about Christina Lake Cannabis and their new president, Rob Jones. We're going to bring in Guy for this story. Guy, can you please take it away for us?
To lead commercialization efforts, renowned agriculture commodities trader Rob Jones is named president of Christina Lake Cannabis. Today 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Globe Newswire, print. With 35 years of experience in trading agriculture commodities globally, CLC's Executive VP of Business Development and Sales Rob Jones has been named president of the company. Having played a significant role in the growth of Wilburellis, in which Mr. Jones hired, trained, and mentored nearly 24 commodity traders, the company believes Mr. Jones' demonstrated ability to build and scale winning teams in the commodities trade can prove invaluable as CLC begins its initial commercialization efforts. Christina Lake Cannabis Corp., the company, or CLC, or Christina Lake Cannabis, CSE, CLC, OTCQB, CLCFF, Frankfurt, CLB, is pleased to announce that it has appointed Rob Jones, an accomplished global trader of agriculture commodities, as the president of CLC to lead its commercialization efforts beginning in 2021 as the company seeks to introduce its dried cannabis biomass and extracts to the market following an exceptionally successful inaugural harvest. Mr. Jones has been promoted to this position from his role as Executive Vice President of Business Development and Sales for CLC. Under Mr. Jones' leadership as president, CLC believes it can form a robust sales pipeline for its goods within Canada and potentially in international markets. Over a 35-year career in trading agriculture commodities, Mr. Jones has dealt in categories including feed, oleochemicals, and energy in international markets to include Mexico, Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, and South Korea. Mr. Jones has also traded commodities into China, which included several trade missions sponsored by Agriculture Canada. Before joining CLC, Mr. Jones was Director of Sales and Marketing for West Coast Reduction, Limited, WCRL, the largest independent rendering operation in Western Canada. In this capacity, Mr. Jones was instrumental in establishing new markets into British Petroleum in Washington State, Parkland Fuel Corporation in Burnaby, BC, and Nest in Singapore. These accomplishments contributed to making WCRL the largest supplier of feedstocks into Western Canada's renewable energy industry. Prior to his tenure at WCRL, Mr. Jones played a key role in the growth of agriculture and chemicals firm Wilbur Ellis, which is currently a $3 billion business celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. After being named general manager of the operation with 4 employees and 1 office in 1986, Mr. Jones grew the firm to 4 Canadian offices and 3 U.S. offices with over 65 employees and sales of over $250 million per year. Mr. Jones also hired, trained, and mentored nearly 24 commodity traders during this time. Mr. Jones continues to contribute to the agricultural industry as a mentor for the Creative Destruction Lab, Haskayne School of Business, University of Calgary, in its agriculture, AG stream. Mr. Jones is a past board member of the Animal Nutrition Association of Canada, ANAC, National Trade Association for Canada's feed industry, as well as past president of the American Fats and Oils Association.
All right, thank you, Guy. Good luck in Mr. Jones in his new position. Next up, HEXO Corp announces positive adjusted EBITDA and 94% increase in net revenue from prior year. HEXO, HEXO on the TSX, on the New York Stock Exchange, also HEXO. Full disclosure, I have owned HEXO in the past. It did quite well for me. I'm not opposed to getting back into it again. Canadian producer of marijuana. All right, we're going to bring Natasha in and let her explain the story further.
HEXO Corporation, TSX, HEXO, NYSE, HEXO, or the company today reported its financial results for the second quarter fiscal 2021 ended January 31, 2021, 2Q21. All amounts are expressed in Canadian dollars unless otherwise noted. I am so proud of the entire HEXO team for the role they played in helping us achieve positive adjusted EBITDA this quarter, along with our 7th consecutive quarter of adjusted EBITDA improvement, said HEXO CEO and co-founder Sebastien St. Louis. Our continued focus on delighting consumers has seen us increase our market share across Canada while maintaining the number 1 position in Quebec. We're also very excited to have launched Powered by HEXO CBD beverages in Colorado. Our net revenues and gross margin have continued to improve year over year, bolstered by our premium product mix with the relaunch of UP Cannabis. We are especially excited about our recently announced agreement to acquire Zenabis. We believe this transaction will be accretive for our shareholders and will position HEXO for accelerated domestic and international growth. The acquisition would place HEXO solidly in the top 3 position among licensed producers for Canadian adult use cannabis sales, based on the most recent interim quarterly financial statements.
All right, thank you, Natasha. That's a quick little story about HEXO. There is much more to this article, a lot of numbers from their reporting. You can definitely access it. It came out 6:33 a.m. this morning, Globe Newswire. Next up, we're going to talk about OBITX, sorry about that. OBITX signs first contract to develop blockchain for green technology and engineering. OBTX is on the OTC markets as OBTX, currently trading about $3.20. We're going to bring Clara in, and she's going to explain this further for us.
Obits Inc. OBTX, an advanced software development and services company specializing in blockchain technologies and decentralized processing, announced today it was selected by Green Technology and Engineering, Inc. for the development of their proprietary, closed-network, blockchain software. Under terms of the agreement, Obits received $240,000 as prepayment for the services, the contract minimum. Mr. Jaff, Obits' chief executive officer, stated, "We have hit the ground running. The legwork from our team prior to my arrival this past week on this project was stupendous. The skill set and vision of our staff in seeking out synergistic clients looking for solutions that match with our business operations